So, hello, everybody. It is me, Demetra K, and I am sitting here with Donovan, the recovering Democrat Sadiq, also known as the Black Yule Brenner. You are bald all over, ain't you? Anyway, thank you so much, Donovan, for being here. Also, I'd like to thank YouTube and Facebook. You are the other side of the conversation. Not only are you viewers, but you are participants and family, and sometimes we share the link. All I ask is that if I do share the link and your profile looks like this, please show me your face. And then if you're not comfortable, you could go back to that. If I've never seen you on here before, just please show me your face, because we have had some shenanigans go on and we do not want to repeat of that. Also ask that we are respectful to one another in the comment section and on the panel if we do share the link today. It's not that we disagree, it is how we disagree. So with that, also like to say the purpose of the Demetra K Show is to promote Black love, knowledge, and understanding of all things that go on in the Black community to make us an even better people, with the emphasis on even, because we're great people, but we can always strive to do better. Today, we're going to be talking about that of comedian DL Hughly slamming Janet Jackson over her comments about Kamala Harris. And it wasn't just him, but he was the one that was really doing the most crashing out about it. So before I get started and give it to Donovan, I'm going to put this up. Of course, you guys know that we are smack dab in the middle of election season, and the election will be in November 5th to be exact. And so if you would go register to vote, who you vote for is your business. You can vote for, as my daughter says, she may vote for Harambe. Some people voted for Hello Kitty and they mama. Whoever you vote for, make sure that you're registered so that they'll know how many people voted and who they voted for. Because, especially us in Black America, I'm a space safe for me. I'm sending a message, me personally, to the Democrats, and that I am voting against blue for reasons that we have gone over here a whole host of times, and I'm sure we'll do it today here. So let me stop that. Hey, Brother Don, how you doing? Jay Sims, what's going on with you? Says, long live Janet, damn it. Maureen, how you doing? Monet, what's going on with you? Rayford, how you doing? Sister Shirley, I hope you're doing well. Yes, you're on time. Chalk Chick, how you doing? Celia, I hope all is well. New Jersey in the building. Mike, nice. What's going on? Hope you are well. And Contribution, what's going on with you? So, Donovan, how are you this fine day?
I am doing excellent. Had a great 10 days with a special person to me. And we went to if you guys haven't seen Jeffrey Osborne in concert, oh my God, go see this man. He is 76 years old. Sounds excellent in concert, just like if you were singing off the CD or the album or whatever. Excellent, excellent, excellent. Saw it at the Thornton Winery down in Temecula, California. But hey, before we get into all that other good stuff, do not forget to download the African Diaspora News Channel app. You can get it on Google Play, Apple Store. Again, by doing that, you can see other great videos from Demetra K, Brother Phil Scott, Vicki Dillard, and a lot of contributors that inform us of what's going on around the world in the African diaspora. So again, download the African Diaspora News Channel app. You can get it on Google Play and Apple Store. Also, if you guys look at the bottom here, there is a scrolling banner that says, please donate if you can do so and would like to do so, and help the content creator continue to have these great conversations and make this program go longer and farther. Those are the ways you can do it. You can do it on PayPal, Venmo, Cash App, Cash, money order, however you guys want to do it. It does take time to make these videos. And, as we know, especially my moniker, time is money and money is time. So that will continue to keep these great content creators going. And Demetra happens to be one of those. But this Janet thing, and I'm going to get into it a little bit later with my commentary, but one thing you will not do for as long as you live and you call yourself a Black man is come after Janet Jackson. She didn't do nothing to nobody but give us great music, great dancing, and the model of a sister booty. So let's get it cracking.
You was doing all right until you said that. But yes, Janet, I love Janet. Hello, Pop. Judge, how you doing? And Miss Wilson, how are you doing? Rhonda, Miss White, Virgo, Brother Reggie, how you doing? Now, of course, y'all know I'm gonna try my best to read most of the comments, but it's getting harder and harder nowadays. Nevertheless, let's go ahead and get into it. All right, so I guess Janet Jackson had an interview with the Guardian publication, if you will, and the interviewer asked Janet, or she noted rather, America could be on the verge of voting for its first Black female president. And then Janet says, well, you know what they supposedly said? She's not Black. That's what I heard, that she's Indian. So then it says, when the interviewer responded that Kamala is both, Janet incorrectly, and this is what they're saying, said her father is white. That's what I was told. I mean, I haven't watched the news in a few days. I was told that they discovered her father was white. And then it goes on to say, after repeating that Kamala is of dual heritage, the interviewer asked Janet whether she thinks America is prepared to see her in office. And then Janet says, I don't know, whispering. She says, honestly, I don't want to answer that because I really truthfully don't know. I think either way it goes, it's going to be mayhem. All right. So then, of course, amid the backlash, because there was a lot of it, and I guess this, went out yesterday. Her manager, Mo Elsmari, something like that, told BuzzFeed, says, well, her comments were based on misinformation, and also says she deeply respects Vice President Kamala Harris and her accomplishments as a Black and Indian woman. Says Janet apologized for any confusion caused and acknowledges that the importance of accurate representation in public disclosure. Then lastly, they said, we appreciate the opportunity to address this and will remain committed to promoting unity. Okay. So as I said, everybody and their mama, well, not everybody, but a lot, the usual suspect, the Democrat shills, they basically crashed out, talking about Janet, the way she looked, and just a whole host of things. How dare her? She's ignorant. She doesn't know this, that, the other, blah, 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 blah. And then I'm going to put up one of the tweets that DL said, and then I'm going to read to y'all the rest of them because, DL is a comedian. Okay. So let's see. Which one am I going to put up? I mean, they're all kind of, let's see. Okay, I'll put this one up. No, I'll put this one up, and then I'll read y'all the rest. Okay. So, Mr. DL Hughly says, hashtag Janet Jackson's interview sounded like a Trump rally. For your information, it's a little ironic to question whether someone is Black while you're breathing through the nose of a white woman. Okay, that was DL Hughly's first response to her. Okay, so let me remove that. He had quite a few. Let's see. Then he goes on to say, all I know is Kamala looks like she did when she was in Oakland, but Janet don't look like she did when she was Penny. What the hell was in that iron? Because, of course.
That's the damn lie. Obviously, he doesn't know what the hell he's talking about. Kamala has had cosmetic surgery.
Well, I don't know. Okay, I don't know what she's had. Okay. All right. Then he goes on to say, okay, Kamala looks the way she does because she has a mom from India and a dad from Jamaica. Janet Jackson looks the way she does because she has a plastic surgeon. So, of course, he said all that before Janet apologized. I guess that was an apology. But, yeah, DL Hughly, who was a known, Democrat shield, he cuts for the Democrats. He loves the Democrats, and especially Kamala. He went after Janet. Of course, I need to explain to y'all who Janet Jackson is. Maybe you've lived under a rock your whole life. But of course, Janet Jackson comes from the very famous, very influential, trailblazing family of the Jacksons, who just had a older brother, Tito Jackson, pass away. Of course, we know that Michael, who is probably the most famous Jackson, passed away about 14 years ago, give or take. And she's a Jackson, right? Janet Jackson has a legacy of her own. She's been acting and singing and all that probably since she was 3 years old. So Janet has done this her whole life. Of course, Janet Jackson is a humanitarian. I think she's still touring, or she just finished a tour. She's about to tour. So Janet, damn it, Janet. That's basically what I could say. Like, I don't really have anything too bad to say about Janet at all. But yesterday she became the public enemy number one, because she questioned the identity of Kamala Harris. Now, when I saw or read the interview, I was like, okay, Janet been listening to somebody. Janet been listening to New Black Media.
Janet is not stupid. She is an independent thinking person. She's not stupid
at all, you know. So she definitely been listening to somebody to where she questioned that. But you know, the interviewer asked her about the first Black president, and I think it was within her right because she didn't know, is she Black? I thought she was white, or whatever the case is. But again, Janet is worth, I don't know, I'd imagine hundreds of millions of dollars. So she's probably not paying attention too much because whoever's in the office, what does it, you know, matter to Janet or whatever the case is. But I think it's,
when you're a billionaire, are you really paying close attention to politics in an entertainer from the Jackson family?
Well, probably from a tax point of view, I don't know, but I think it's disgusting that, you know, they drag Janet. Let me say this. I really meant to say this at the beginning. Of course, we don't look to entertainers to tell us what to do and how to feel or anything like that. But I kind of just wanted to talk about how people are just really crashing out over Kamala and the Democrat Party, and that people are not allowed to have their own opinions. You know, it's that, you know, thing of, oh, they're trying to get off the plantation, so we must drag her back on here. How dare her? And then you go talk about Janet Jackson because she was asked a question like DL. What was like? Listen, I'm trying not to get in trouble here, but we know DL Hughly is a shield. But to the point of, you know, talking about, you gonna dog Janet Jackson, who we know is Black American culture, over a woman that we got questions over? How dare you? How dare you? So anyway, I'm going to get to these comment sections after Donovan. So y'all want to kind of slow down a little bit. Then I can get to it. Alex said Janet is going hard after Tito's death. I don't know. Could be. Donovan?
Well, again, I don't think there's really much you need to say because, again, it's obvious that DL is getting paid a lot of money to do what he's doing, because before that, he was one of the main people that came out when she ran in 2019 that showed that what she did to Black people here in California and all this other stuff. He must be paid a lot of money for him to switch the way he's switching. And I'm just going to say this and leave it at that, because, again, we have certain icons in our culture that are beyond reproach. Yes, she's an entertainer, but she is not an ignorant entertainer. At one time, Janet Jackson was the highest paid singer. She had inked the highest paid record deal of even her brother at the time. And so this girl as an actress, she's multi-talented, whatever you guys want to say about her. But the reason why you will never, ever go after Janet Jackson, in my opinion, is she played Penny on Good Times, and the way she acted about the abused little girl and stuff. You will never go after that girl after she played that role of Penny, you know, the innocent, cute little girl that's running around. I was in love with JJ. So shame on DL. And like I said, I hope the money that he's getting paid, because you can't tell me he is not getting paid. And I'm going to say allegedly, just to say that for legal purposes, but nobody is going to go hard against a person like Janet Jackson, who usually remains neutral. And what she said in that interview, to me, is an honest reply. She didn't know. Oh, you know, that's what she heard. She's answering it honestly. And if Janet is wrong, she's wrong. It doesn't matter here nor there. But for this man to come out and attack one of our Black queens in our culture, especially in the Generation X culture, shame on DL Hughly. I hope the money's worth it, brother, but you will not attack Janet Jackson.
Yeah, absolutely. Well said. I'm gonna get to the comments. Sunlight, how you doing? Hope you're doing well. Right, because I see you be posting about Janet all the time. She said they better get off my girl. Sky Walker Reborn. I think I messed that up. How you doing? So you're talking about Kamala is not Black. And TV baby, I think that is Demeter Joe ain't wrong is what you said. Okay. And Mary Sue, how you doing? Says Janet shouldn't have apologized any statement. Well, y'all know how they do. Janet obviously, you know, has more money than God. But they, you know how they bully people and drag them from here to there, you know, and make them apologize. You know, she just basically said, okay, it was misinformation and kept moving on. One thing I'll say about Janet, she don't seem like she puts out a lot of, you know, commentary. She's very quiet. She just does her thing, goes away and minds her business. But Yeah, of course they were going to keep on, disrespecting her, which is, I think, is just horrible, over Kamala Harris, and to me, it makes me not want to vote for Kamala even more so. Now I know MAGA be doing the most, but I think Blue MAGA, they just as bad. Blue MAGA is just, they don't want you to even breathe on your own unless it got something to do with Kamala Harris, or the Democrats. So it's crazy. Sabrina, how you doing? Hope you're doing well. He said, Janet, know that. Ooh, you all right now? I'm gonna just leave it at that. But how you doing? Bijou, how you doing? It said Janet Jackson been using Korean skin whiteness for all her life. How dare she question another woman's racial identity politics? But underneath all that skin whitening, she's still a black woman. We know that for doggone show.
We know that for a fact.
Right. We know Janet is black. Regardless of what she doing with her skin, we know Janet is black. Okay, and she comes from a very black family that has influenced almost everybody on the earth and above the earth and under the earth too. So we never gonna question who Janet is.
Right. And the funny thing is that you bring about skin bleaching and stuff like that. I think it's very hypocritical. And obviously, either you're just trolling or you're just woefully and not informed. I didn't want to say ignorant. In Jamaica, bleaching their skin is very good. In Africa, that goes on prevalently in these countries that have been colonized because they want to get closer to their oppressor and they're bleaching their skin. That is woefully apparent. So calling out Janet for doing something that most colonized black nations are doing, it doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, it's wrong. And but I don't know if any people will call DL out. And DL to me is not really that important in the larger scheme of things. But I think it's important to talk about because the level of disrespect that they're willing to go to over somebody who has not gone to that distance for black people. Kamala Harris has not done that, but yet they're going to disrespect Janet. She's allowed to have her opinion. I don't think they understand that. They want to go and, bully people that want to think differently than them is BS, if you ask me. So let's see. Poor George, how you doing? Says Janet called Kamala out, but Beyonce donated $4 million to her campaign. Right. And I don't know. That's first I heard about the money, but definitely her song. Right. They're using that as a campaign song. Demario, how you doing? Says DL knows who to pick on. He don't have this smoke for Dr. Umar. Right. He's supposed to debate Dr. Umar. And he said, oh, well, I'll debate you in your school gymnasium. How about that? And Dr. Umar was like, great. It's been ready for 3-4 years now. Come on, bring it on. But nevertheless, DL Hughly tucked tail and ran. Ain't been heard from since in regards to Dr. Umar. Now, he know good and hell well Dr. Umar would eat his lunch, his mama's lunch, and all his whole family's lunch, all combined at the same time. So he don't want that smoke. See, it's funny when you do it on your radio show, but you ain't going to be able to line it up never. I don't care what y'all say about Dr. Umar. Umar is about that life when it comes to debating. So we know that ain't going to happen. Facts Not Feelings, how you doing? Says Hughley is ignorant and he's a gatekeeper for white supremacy. So they say, Darth Vader, how you do? Darth Raider, how you doing? He says the attack dog strike again. They are part of the elite and are not like us. Yes, indeed. 7 cents, how you doing? Says Dallas is getting whooped right now. By the way, Mr. Newman, how you doing? You say crazy. DL stands for Democrat lover. It's a good way of looking at it. Brother Sammy, how you doing? It says just like the barge was your well-known Janet Jackson was mine growing up. Yes, I think Janet was probably everybody's crush. I took my jazz tryout routine to that of Janet Jackson Control back when I was in 9th grade. So we never gonna say nothing bad about Janet. But anyway, and the first ethnic tootness. How you doing, by the way? He says NBM. What does that mean? And Corey, how you doing? He says these Democratic shields are crazy as ish. Yup. Sergeant Lauder, how you doing? He says DL needs a foot where the sun don't shine. The Naha Israel, aka Black Cougar 1959. How you doing? He says Janet is a real one. Yes, I like Janet. I have anything bad to say about Janet. I think she's entitled to her opinion like everybody else. Ja Tony, how you doing? Hope you're doing well. Buck Horse, how are you? Robert, what's going on with you? Says Janet was right. DL Hughly is tripping. Yeah, especially to be talking about how she looked. It's nasty. They'll be the first one to talk about the stuff that comes out of Trump's, in their mouth, but they're just nasty. Hey, Avenge the Ancestor, how you doing? Thank you so much for the donation. Love it. Appreciate you for that. Yes, indeed. Dave, how you doing? So Janet's correct. Kamala is seen as Indian from the UK. Well, I mean, I think a lot of people are confused because she has been saying that that's what she wants. up until, I don't know, last couple of years or so. That's what she was called, Indian American, Asian American, first Indian American. And so I think that's kind of where the confusion comes in. Brother Damon.
Yeah. And if you guys have been listening to her recent interviews that she's being put out there, because she is, woefully in interviews and stuff, and she's behind in the polls, and I mean they're trying everything. She is not getting the bump that they think she should get. They are telling her, basically, if you've seen some of her interviews, to just say you're black. Just say it. Just get it out there. Hopefully that'll get your numbers up. Hopefully. And that's what she's starting to do now. She's now saying, I'm black.
Yeah, she is starting to say that. Let's see who else. Judge, how you doing? Hope you're doing well. And Bettina, how you doing? Says, y'all gonna talk about Jerry Jones? What about Jerry Jones? Did he do something? I mean, I know Jerry Jones is low key, maybe high key, a racist, and that he was seen back in the day taunting.
Wait a minute. He just wanted to see what was going on.
I was just there. I was an onlooker. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Percy Miracles, how you doing? Salute to Janet. Yes, indeed. Mike Lewis, how you doing? He says, I'm telling you all, these shields are more than likely paid, just like I believe that. Oh God, Michael Eric Dyson, Lord have mercy, he got caught. I was going to talk about that today. Maybe we'll talk about that in just a little bit, but I get into that because that is funny if you ask me. But anyway, it says Dyson is paid 1 minute. YouTube. White mommy was a racist. Now there you go. She smoked baby back ribs with honey barbecue sauce, and so of course we'll get into that in just a minute because that is just wow. That there's a lot going on there. So anyway, our Negroes, how you doing? It says Janet is American royalty respect. Yes, indeed. And Wesley, how are you? Says DL. The next time your political opinion matters will be the first. Please stop the raccooning. She says DL is like the small dog in Kamala Harris's yard barking at anybody walking by. You know what? That's a good analogy. Nettie, how you doing? It says Janet all the way. Yes, indeed. Chantel, how are you? Hope you're doing well. Valerie, what's going on? He says one thing for sure. Janet is no question about that. Has always loved and by her black community. You like Kamala. Yeah, I mean, that's what I'm saying. You don't disrespect Janet over Kamala. It's crazy. Kamala has never said that she was really all for black people. Like she'll try to say it, but her policies speak differently, right? But we're going to, now when I say we, I mean them, going to drag Janet because she's asked the question. It's bananas. But like I said, he's not the only one. There's a lot of other people doing it, talking about, she's spewing Trump rally talking points. And it's just like, right, like I said, even she was.
Yeah, so what? Big deal. He's probably working for a network or whatever, his owner of his radio station that goes home and calls him the N-word every chance he gets, because when it comes down to it, they don't care if you're this or that. They care about the money. But the owners of whoever's paying him could give a rat's ass about, whatever. But we worried about, my feelings are hurt because somebody said something. You got everybody. As we know in Black America, if you are a sane person, and I'm going to say this, you cannot tell me you work in an environment where everything is kumbaya, everybody likes each other, and there's no racism going on. You know damn well when those people go home, they're talking about you, just like you're talking about them. That's just how it's going to be. We live in reality in America, the most racist country there is on the face of this earth.
Yeah, yes, indeed. And hello, Rico. How you doing? And Chanel, how you doing? It says these black men are disrespecting a real black woman for cosplaying black woman. Sad. Yeah, I think that's really sad. It's like, wow, Janet. I didn't think Janet was draggable, but Janet, H. McDaniel, how you doing? It says, why do DL always feel compelled to defend Kamala? Has someone dubbed him the shiny knight of Kamala, or is he simply getting paid for his defense? I don't know, but the crashing out is just crazy. It's really crazy because, like I said, I kind of tried to check out of social media for a couple of days on the weekend and stuff. But when I think maybe my daughter told me about it, when I logged on, I was like, Janet? They mad at Janet? I don't know. Nubian King, how you doing? So genetic evidence proves that Dravidian people originally migrated to India from the Horn of Africa. The first Indians were African hunter-gatherers who came 50,000 years ago, rather, to India. She's black. Okay. Again, I don't have a dog in the fight with what she is. I'm not one to tell anybody what they are, right?
You know what? I'm going to break that down real quick, and I'm going to shut everything down. That analogy that person just used is one of the dumbest analogies ever, and I'm going to say why. And I'm not just trying to dispute all of this. Okay. When it all comes down to it, we all started in Africa. We're all black when it all comes down to it. Okay. That shuts the whole situation down. Everybody is from Africa in one form or a fashion.
Well said, friend. Well said. Yeah, whether, Janet is misinformed or not, I don't know. It's her right to say what she wants. It's, because again, the Democrats always holler about democracy's in danger. Oh, we got to protect democracy. Well, democracy means you have a say so. So if I can't say what I want, now she wasn't spewing hate speech. No, she said that's what she heard. She didn't say it was affirmative or anything like that. But to drag her because she's exercising democracy, I think that's, direct opposition to the moniker of the Democratic Party. They don't care about democracy. They only care about you staying on the plantation and rattling off their talking points. Harley, how you doing? Hope you're doing well. Pamela, how are you doing? Hope you're doing well as well. All right, so let's see here. Who else came on here? Answer, is that his 1970?
Yeah, he's a troller. Don't even respond to that.
Oh, got you. Thank you, because I just got you. Yeah, because unless you have something, like for real to add to the conversation, coming on here and doing all that, S. Williams, how you doing? It says all these ignorant black people only take away the prestige of saying the first female black president from the authentic black female with ancestral slave background when the real black women comes. Yeah, right. What are we going to get other than her being the first black female, president, whatever? What do we get with that? Is like a cookie? Is it like a Cracker Jack box or something? Like, what do we get? Gil, how you doing? Oh, well, thank you. Let's see here. Papa Nelly, what's going on with you? Long time no see. Says, ooh, let me say that woman ain't black. Her daddy says he ain't black. I'm tired of this. Yeah, I don't even know what to believe at this point. Damien, how you doing? Damien, rather, how you doing? Says Janet stood on business, point blank, period. Yeah, well, they kind of made her walk it back a little bit. Rico says Janet is on cold. Yeah, that's why I said she listening to somebody, right? Toby, me, how you doing? Says hashtag no Kamala. And Daryl, how you doing? Says DL lives in a nice gated white area. More than likely, he's living off the establishment gravy train. If black men pull up on him, he's shutting his mouth. Yeah, I mean, Umar is like, what to do? Maurice, how you doing? Says, so the DL disrespect Janet because she said something about his masters. Man, this dude is soft and a complete joke. And by the way, he's not that funny. Yeah, that's what it was. Like, I don't know. He's like clockwork. I guess maybe somebody snapped his fingers and he went out there on the attack. I'm like, Janet? But, I know he's on the radio. He better not play not another Janet Jackson song. Not another, okay? Leave Janet music out your rotation and leave her name out your mouth. You know what I mean? How you doing? Says he had to do all that. I guess he felt like he did, right? Let's see. Let me skip down to some new comments. Handy, how you doing? He says, my mom, a member of the Democrat cult, sent a social media commentary video of someone going in on Janet. She knows how much I love Janet. Now my mom thinks I should not support Janet. Seriously? One thing that Janet will never be is canceled. Never. Because there's people in all parts of the world, even here, they don't care about all that nonsense as far as politics are concerned. But Janet, I wouldn't even worry about her being canceled. But yeah, to say she needs to be canceled, you want to cancel Janet, but the woman that's trying to go to the White House has done nothing specifically for black people. And said, in fact, she said she wasn't going to do anything specifically for black people. But Janet is the one that needs to be canceled. What in the world is going on? I need to know. It's crazy. Let's see. Contribution. It says Michael Jackson tried to tell people it didn't matter if I'm black or white. I'm still a black American. Yeah, Michael Jackson did not bite his tongue when it came to anything black. Sanchez, how you doing? You say Janet is a real black woman, not cosplaying or black adjacent. DL not crashing out for real sisters. Yeah, and I ain't gonna say nothing else because something I want to say, but I ain't gonna say it. Sister Khadijah, how you doing? Hope you're doing well. Um, uh, Answer, you says respect Kamala and what she's trying to do is way more important than what? What is she doing that's important? Please tell me what that is. I'll wait for your comment at the bottom. Suki B.
I got an answer for it. One thing Janet's doing that Kamala isn't doing is giving people real joy by being an entertainer.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out what it is. Hey Stephen, how you doing? Tell your wife I said hello. You says what happened to your hair looking like a newborn baby? Talking about Donovan, yeah, like he just came out yesterday, right? Brand new. Oh, all right. Let me skip down. I know there's a lot of comments here. One, who cares? How you doing? I hope you're having a great day. Peace to thee. How are you? He says, we rocking with Janet. You better believe it. David, how you doing? Says, this garbage is getting ridiculous. I think I agree with you. Coach Terrence, he says, when DL pledged Q-Dog, they made him put out a public apology. Really? For what? Because he wasn't supposed to? Like, what did he do? If you don't mind me asking, Pop says, what y'all mean? She apologized. Yeah, it was kind of an apology. Just basically like, okay, well, she didn't know and they moved on. So wasn't really like a full throated, oh, I'm so sorry. Please don't cancel me. I don't know what I'll do. Wasn't nothing like that. It was like, oh, okay, my bad. Next. Control. Marcus, he says, what I noticed is a ton of a comment cut off. Let's see who else. Bijou says, Dimitri, you that old, you don't look it, and you don't use skin bleachers. What's your secret? When you say that old, I'm I'm Donovan. Yeah, I'm 53. I just don't let people stress me out. I drink lots of water and I take my ass to bed early, very early. Anybody who knows me knows that I could be in the bed when the sun is still up. I get up pretty early too, but I don't burn a candle up both ends. I go to bed at night. I don't know, genetics too. Cap Pack. How you doing, Cap? It says DL Hughly is going hard to protect Kamala, but he didn't protect his. You was reading my mind. It says, but he didn't protect his own daughter. He's weak and a disgrace. I'm gonna leave it at that. But yeah, something horrible happened to his daughter by his friend, and I guess the daughter told DL that the friend did that to her, and he didn't believe her. Basically, called her a liar. So, man, I was thinking it, but you said it. Alumi, how you doing? It says skin bleaching is extremely prevalent in India too. Yeah, kind of all over, right?
Outside of the United States, skin bleaching from colonized cultures is very prevalent because they have a colonizer's mindset. They want to be as close to white is better in their mindset of their culture. So that's very prevalent. So bringing up, I don't think Janet has bleached her skin, but if she has, so what?
Right. Yeah. I mean, I'm sure she's bleached a lot of things. You know, right. I don't know. It's just not something for me. And, you know, in fact, the other day, my daughter told me, she says, you're pale. And because I don't go outside much. I do need some sun, you know. Anyway, let's see here. Corey, how you doing? Says, man, if y'all call out Kamala for being with a white man, you guys have to critique Janet preferences as well. No, we don't. Because Janet ain't running for office. Kamala's running for office. Janet is an entertainer. That's what she does. You know, Janet can do what she wants. She's on a different world stage. Kamala's trying to get on the world stage where she is going to directly affect the lives of American people. Janet doesn't directly affect the lives of American people. Has Janet been with white guys or guys that are not black? Yeah, she has. You know, not something for me. But Janet and Kamala don't compare in that way at all. But again, Kamala says she's a black woman. Yeah, she's with a white man, but she tells black people no. So if you can do the math on that, then you let me know what the solution is or the answer is. Dark Side, how you doing? It says it's to the point now where if she says anything at all, it works against her. So you say she is that Janet or Kamala? FM, how you doing? It says Jerry Jones is a racist. You can drop the suspected. Yeah. So I heard. But, you know.
Let's see. You're in Dallas. You're in Texas. You know, mostly in the South. I don't know why people are surprised when these things come out. I mean, I'm a longtime Dallas Cowboy fan. It's not surprising to me that he possibly is. He's a man of his time. How old is Jerry Jones? 83 years old. So I would suspect he was born and raised in a time where there was segregation and blacks over here, whites over here. You got to do what you got to do, right? Is that man going to change when he's an adult and in his 80s? Fundamentally, no, he won't. Joe Biden, he's a man of his time. Locked more black people up and did so much crap toward black people, so detriment to black people. But we expect people. Oh no, Joe has changed. So if Joe Biden has changed, y'all need to get off Jerry Jones because they're in the same age category and group.
Yes, indeed. Malachi, how you doing? It says Trump for president. Okay. And Daryl, how you doing? It says Jerry looking at Johnson's. What?
Again, how many of you guys seen the movie Django? What was that about?
Right. Brother Don says no one wants to beat us until reparation checks are being written, and they will be written. You can believe that. Cynthia, how you doing? Says her admitting that she's black now is not going to do her any good here in Michigan. Yeah, I saw that a couple of polls came out, NBC and I think CNN or some other poll. I don't know which one it was, but they basically have Kamala ahead. NBC's poll had Kamala at it's like 48% or something like that, and Trump at 37%. And I'm like, now come on, now we know all y'all leaning toward Kamala. We'll know who's gonna win after the election, right? That's when we'll know. Who else came on here? Let's see. Brandon, how you doing? Said Kamala zombies. Okay. Your average logical thinker, how you doing? And Miss Sweets, I saw you up in there too. How you doing? Gwen, how you doing? Says black people act like they stuck on stupid. They know how that lady is just pandering them for votes. She don't like you for real. That's the impression that I get too. Skipping down. Negroes, did I say hello to you? If I didn't, hello. He says Michael Jackson is not he's not. It's been proven that he's not. In fact, the families have come out said that they were lying on Michael. So yeah, I never doubted that for one moment.
Yeah, I sent you a private thing of a question, a comment that I want you to read.
Okay. Check it out. Let me say, a car consciousness. How you doing? It says, good evening. So Janet is chiming in. What and when did she say? She basically said she didn't know that Kamala was black, and then people, are dragging her. Cool Breeze, how you doing? Karen and Thomas, how you doing? All right, so let's see here. The question says, all right, hey, Demetri Donovan, I tried to give Kamala a chance. Interview with National Association of Black Journalists. Says questions not answered. Oprah interview, not one question answered specifically. I'm sick of her. It's pretty sad. Yes, so there was a town hall with Oprah and a whole bunch of other people, celebrities and just everyday people. And she didn't say anything new, right? But she definitely, nor her or Oprah, or mentioned anything about Black Americans at all. At all. It was just a, little cute little thing where everybody was celebrating Kamala, and she was, saying the same old stuff that she says everywhere. You really could have watched everything else that she said and felt like you watched Oprah's town hall meeting with Kamala. It was very tongue-in-cheek, if you will. Miss Wilson, you said DL didn't have this much smoke for Monique. Yeah, he know better, right? Raven, how you doing? It says one mission for this Cali bro, November 5th, 2024, vote against the Black Cali Assembly slaves who sabotaged the reparations vote per their slave master, Gavin Newsom. Yeah, I hope that Californians show up and show out against the Black Democrats that sabotage the reparations vote, because that is crazy. Jason.
And speaking of which, since you brought that up, if you guys have been following my channel, and Demetria follows it as well, I was actually at an event where one of the Democratic shills that stopped the vote of reparations was there, and he was shaking in his boots because I was there. And we're at a private residence, so I didn't want to kick up too much dust, but I did speak to his communications director, who, we have a personal relationship. He said, just call me, whatever the deal is. You know what? I'm going to call him and talk to him. But let me tell you, when I was talking to him in an official capacity, he gave me all of the excuses that you could possibly imagine. Well, it's not Corey's fault. He didn't do anything. If you guys could do any homework, or if you guys have possibly heard of Corey Jackson of the California Assembly District 60, going to a microphone and arguing that the reparations should go to a vote, him fighting against his own caucus saying, yes, we've got to vote on this. We've got to vote on this. I have never seen that to this very day. But see, that's what they want you to do. And I was talking to his communication director, long story short, And I told them, you're not talking to the every 4-year voter, the misinformed 4-year voter. I pay attention every 4 years, and I only pay attention because of sound bites. You're talking to Donovan Sadiq, the Inland Empire informer, the recovering Democrat who lives this stuff. And he was like, yeah, you're right. You're right. And I told him that reparations bill, Black people need help now, not down the road and whatever. You know what? You're right. You're right. You're right. We don't want to hear it. They got to go. Corey's got to go.
Shirley, how you doing? Says, is a brother kid Black? So you talking about Michael Jackson's kids? Are they Black? I don't know. Half Black. Definitely their mom is white. Debbie Rowe, I think her name is. So yeah. But again, Michael's dead. Janet's an entertainer. Kamala is trying to be the president of the United States. They do not have the same, job description or even the goal of what they're trying to do. So I don't know. Perry, how you doing? Hope you're doing well. And Pete Burley, thank you so much. I love and appreciate you for that. You says dragging one of the most beloved figures in the culture makes Dems look like a cult led by nasty shills.
And Demetria, you're a political person. Do you know how many votes they're going to lose for the simple fact that they even did this to Janet?
I mean, it made me mad. I mean, I wasn't going to vote for Kamala anyway, but if I was on the fence, I definitely would not. That made me not want to vote for Kamala even more, because it's like, y'all gonna crash out like that? For real? It's nasty. It's like, people are allowed to disagree with you. People are allowed to say they want to vote for whoever they want to vote for without you getting mad. Like, why are you taking my vote personally? And it don't sound like Janet brought up the conversation. The lady brought up the conversation. So I don't even know what the interview was about. I doubt it was about politics, because she says, I don't know, but you put that in there about, so that also assumes that because Janet is Black, that, you must be excited for the first Black female president that could potentially go to the White House. And then when Janet didn't answer the way she thought she should answer, then she kept going. And she's like, I don't know. That's what I heard. Like, what are we doing? Why are you even? So stop asking entertainers or anybody else. Like, if that's not why I'm there, don't ask me about Kamala or nobody else. So, but people cannot think that far. They just want to be mad over an excerpt that came out of an interview I'm sure wasn't even about Kamala.
Right, but doesn't that show you how the Democrats think they own your vote as a Black person? They actually believe they own your vote. How dare you? How dare you think for yourself and your family and what's best for you? The Democrats feel they own Black votes, and that's why they get so upset when you walk off of the plantation. They own you.
Right. Great. The Nate, how you doing? Says, can't compare Janet, a culture icon, to a political. Wow. Should have read that comment. Yeah. Sister Khadijah says, right. Does our Indian family treat us like they are our brother and sisters? No, they don't. They absolutely do not. A lot of them don't, Okay, so how you doing tonight? I did get your comment via Donovan. Butler, thank you so much for the super sticker. Love and appreciate you for that. Hope you're doing well, by the way. FBA Bro Reese, how you doing? You say indeed. Mundo, how you doing? Says greetings, D&D. Yes, the math is mathing. Janet is most definitely Black, but as far as Kamala, I don't know. Like I said, I'm not in the habit of telling people what they are or not. Tracy, how you doing? Hope you're doing well. Jay Lee, how are you? Says 1/4 African blood does not equal Black American descendant of slavery. Yeah, Kamala is definitely not that. I've heard people say she was African American. It's like, now y'all just saying stuff, okay? Now y'all just saying stuff. Nubian King say you disagree with Donovan. I'm gonna let y'all have at that so I can move on. Who else is on here? Y'all got a lot of comments going on. Puff Puff Pass, how you doing? Who else? Brother Reggie says DL is beating off what? Two Janet's posters. Okay. Razcast, how you doing? I was blocked by Razcast, by the way, on Instagram, because he was crashing out for Kamala. And I said, wow, really? And then he made a video. He was mad at people who were calling to the carpet. It's like, man, you in LA and you should know, and this, that, and the other. He says, I'm blocking all y'all when I get done with this video. And I guess I made that number. I wasn't mean. I was just like, wow, really? Man, you might need to do a little bit more research. And he didn't like that. And so I've been blocked. But, still great. The rapper, nevertheless. Anyway, TW, how you doing? It says it's Obama 2.0. I have yet to hear any specific policies pertinent to our Black community. We can't be this naive and stupid without the policies. I don't know. Maybe it's going to be a surprise. Maybe for Christmas, we'll get something from Kamala if she's president.
Well, Kamala said after the election and she wins, she's going to reveal what she wants to do for Black people and the nation specifically.
Yeah, and she was asking, they asked her about Israel, the ceasefire. What would you going to do? What's your policy? She goes, well, I can't say that right now because, it's I can't talk about those things. It's like, just say you don't know, Perry says, may DL butter biscuits be so piping hot that they burn his fingers. Damn. Michelle, how you doing? Says Jezebel spirits. Okay. I don't know what that means, but I don't know. Okay. Otis says, Kamala Harris' father is Irish and Jamaican. His forefathers owned slaves. He takes pride in his Irish heritage, as he should. Kamala Harris' mother is from India. Neither supports Blackness. Yeah, and his family did own slaves. It's a fact. They did. So yeah. Yosef, how you doing? He says indigenous people came from over 300 years ago before Columbus. Mansa Musa sent ships over to America way before anyone else. They came before Columbus. Yes, indeed. The average logical thinker. I say hello to you, but I'll say hello to you again. All right, Raynard, how you doing? Says the deep state elites want Kamala Harris, but I don't think they can save her. She crashed and bombed on Oprah. DL is bought by the Democrat deep state corporation. We're gonna say allegedly, but yeah, that I watched the whole thing, and it was just a bunch of celebrities. Chris Rock was there, Julia Roberts, Tracy Ellis Ross. Just a bunch of people crashing off of Kamala for no good reason at all. Kelly Goodman, how you doing? So that's true. We have a fake Black woman attacking a real one. Who else came on here that I did not see? Robert, did I see you? He says, yeah, and he attacking her and her brother just died. What type of Black man is he? Yeah, her brother just died. You don't think she's grieving? If it was not for Tito Jackson, the Jacksons would not be here. He's the one that got in trouble for playing with the guitar and all that other stuff. And yet we have Janet because of that. And yeah, so Tito is iconic in every way, shape, or form. And so I'm sure she's mourning. And that interview probably was done way before, he passed, I would imagine. But yeah, to be doing that to her, it's just awful. It is. King David, how you doing? Says Black people are very disgusting. To bring up her brother for a statement she made is very disrespectful. Very disrespectful. Margot Rowley, how you doing? Brina says Janet has done so much. She's a legend and still a person with the right to her opinion. Yeah. Whether we like it or not, people are entitled to their opinion. Nicole, how you doing? Wait one second. Thank you. He says, and thank you so much. He said, DL, thank God for his side babies.
I want you guys to think about this real quick, and I'm going to make this very short and sweet, but it's very important. Do you guys realize this woman sitting next to me on this screen would have been the sister-in-law of Janet Jackson if things went Demetra's way? Think about that. Think about it.
As far
you and Elle, her and James.
6 degrees of separation. I see what you did there. Because I was like, I like Michael, but never saw myself being with him.
Elle and James. Now
see what you did. I can dig it. Common Man, how you doing? Says talk about being a culture vulture. And long time no see, by the way. Says there's none bigger than Harris. Shirley Chisholm was the first Black congresswoman and the first Black woman to run for president in America. Yes, yeah, but they keep saying that Kamala is. I tried to watch that movie about Shirley Chisholm by that of Regina King. I just couldn't get into it. There was a lot going on with that. I don't know. Maybe I was like, I need to do a little bit more studying of Shirley Chisholm for me to enjoy this movie because it seemed like it was kind of Hollywood, if you will. So, to me, it was kind of depicting Shirley Chisholm as kind of cutthroat. And I don't know, maybe I just wasn't paying attention. I need to watch that movie again, but I couldn't get past it. All right, so let's see. Joanne, how you doing? Says Dion only respects the dollar sign. Who else came on here? Trish, how you doing? He says, I would bet $100 Cam birth certificate says Caucasian. We know how immigrants love to be accepted by America to get ahead. I don't know. I would love to see it. Dick Borelli, how you doing? Says Kamala's dad is Irish, African, and Indian, not remotely Black American. No, that he is not. Hey, Aaron Goodman, how you doing? Hope you're doing well. My aunt, how you doing? Says say that. Hope you're doing well. Okay. JBWR, how you doing? And Anomalous, how you doing? It says Black is a state of mind derived from the Atlantic slave trade and the American chattel slavery, not just skin color, but because none of us are truly Black in color. Lineage matters. Kamala Harris ain't Black. Yeah, there are a few of us that are actually Black, right? The color Black, but you know what I mean. But I agree with you. Let's see. Comment says Oprah never even mentioned Shirley Chisholm's name, which goes to show who Oprah is and how she really feels. Yeah, I mean, you would think she would know that, right? Miss Sweet says Janet isn't running for office. Kamala is absolutely okay. And Star, you says personally nothing against Janet. I'm 55, grew up to her music at the same time. Show some respect for the Black woman that is trying to be our president. Why? Why do we need to respect Kamala? What has she done for Black Americans to respect her? Give me one thing that Kamala's done that Black Americans need to respect her, especially over that of Miss Jackson. I'm waiting.
Yeah, I had a mentor that told me that I need to be very respectful of our elected leaders. Now, remember, if you think that these people that are elected are leaders, you're in the wrong mindset. They are servants. They are public servants. They're here to serve us. So what you just said right there, what the Congressional Black Caucus did to me here in California, you're telling me I have to respect them for bending me over with no Vaseline. That's what you're telling me. So I would have to disagree with that saying.
Baisley, how you doing? Says Kamala Harris was a cheater. Her husband, rather, was a cheater. And he got the nanny pregnant. That's what the word on the street is. I don't know for sure, but that's what the word on the street is. MDC, how you doing? So Janet Jackson has never bleached her skin. Kamala Harris has no African blood in her. Kamala's daddy is Hindu and Irish, and her mother is Southeast Asian. Her father himself says he's not Black. So I don't know. It's like, what do you believe, right? And let's see. Cornelius, how you doing? So DL Hughly is a joke. Yeah, he thinks he's funny, right? Brother Reggie says, right, Janet dated Jermaine Jackson and Q-Tip, who are both Black. Yeah, she dated a lot of Black people. Jermaine Dupri, which is one of them who dropped the bag on her, the ball, whatever, because she said she really loved him, could see herself having a child with him, but he cheated. But it sounds like they're still good friends. Let's see here. Remnant, Reanimated, how you doing? It says down low, Hughley is a frat house. Wow. So plain and simple. Okay. Some of those words I could not read, but I get your point. Jasmine, how you doing? It says, hey, Uncle and Demetria, another great topic. Thank you so much for that. And Matt Walker, how you doing? It says, why y'all think Kamala can beat Trump when Hillary couldn't? I don't, you know what? Anything is possible. I don't care what election it's been. I've never said, oh, y'all think Trump's going to win or I think Kamala's going to win, because we don't know. And to your point, you know, everybody thought Hillary was going to win. Like, people went to bed like,
she was ahead in the polls by almost double digits.
Right. And you had a Trump presidency in 2016 and 4 years after that. Michelle, how you doing? Says, greetings, Demetria and Donovan chat. In my humble opinion, whoever believes Kamala is a true Black woman is a fool. I guess, but my thing is too, regardless of what color she is, what is she going to do? What is she going to do? She's Black. We saw that with Barack. He was Black, right? Or he's Black. What did he do specifically for Black people? He didn't do a doggone thing and did not apologize for it at all. But yet we're supposed to believe that Kamala, who says she's a Black woman, is going to go and do something for Black people. And now she's not even saying that she is. So why should we vote for her? Human, how you doing? Says there's a white supremacist somewhere in the chat restreaming this video in VR chat. Hence how I found out about this video. Okay, well, welcome. But yeah, I will be on the lookout for those comments. So let's see here. Damien says Black players should have walked after what happened to Tariq Hill, NFL full of ish, or even with that of Colin Kaepernick, but people are still in like Flynn, right? P. Burley saying network news poll show Kamala had to make it seem useless to vote against the tide. It's a false tide, though she's losing in key places and demographics. That's kind of my takeaway too, to get people like, oh, well, there's no use. It's like 6 weeks or so until the election, so anything's possible, right? Lucius, how you doing? It says Kamala Harris is washing greens in the bathtub. You better stop. Herschel, how you doing? Brother Simon says, I've been told there are 3 types of lies: less, damn lies, and statistics. Yeah, I can see it. And Fluffy Bunny says, look at her nasty attitude with those black journalists. Yeah, it was, yeesh. She was not happy. Mike Robinson, how you doing? Says, it's obvious there is a narrative to stroke drama, but while giving Janet her props and right to her opinion, but speed right past the fact she regards her statement as misinformation. We all make mistakes. Yeah, I mean, there's misinformation everywhere. It's like she said, I don't really watch the news. I hadn't watched it in the last couple of days. That's what she heard. But I think more importantly, she was asked her opinion or whatever, and she gave it, and then now she's supposed to be a horrible person for it. So I don't know what was the interviewer's objective with even asking Janet that, to see if she would endorse Kamala. Oh, I love her. Oh, yes, I've been rooting. I think that's what she thought she was going to get. And when Janet was like, is she black? That's yeah.
I mean, she didn't sit down for a political interview. She sat down for an entertainment interview.
Yeah. Suki B, did I say hello to you? If I didn't, he says, Dimitri, I can't remember my password for my PayPal option on YouTube, or my pay option rather on YouTube. I have to go to Cash App. Well, thank you so much for that. Love it, appreciate you. Most definitely. No reparations, no vote. How you doing? Hope you're doing well. Terry Jones, how you doing? Says that Oprah panel was mentally exhausting. Kamala babbled to the fullest of nothing. I couldn't make sense of it. Yeah, I was actually getting ready doing my hair, and I was listening to it, and I was like, this is a waste of time. I mean, they had people come up and talk and give their stories and stuff, but it's like, y'all could have really just kept this. But I guess because Oprah is considered a big fish, right? She's used to be the king and queen maker, but I think we can all agree that within the last couple of years or so, Oprah name holds no weight in the Black community, especially
it's young people.
People. Her homegirl went after Kobe the way that she did, and all the other stuff. So, yeah. Mama Deb, did I say hello to you? If not, hello. He says, Oprah embarrassed a Black man she claims she had a conversation with that said he was voting for Trump because of a check. Yeah, but even if that's why he wanted to vote for Trump, that's his business, right? Cooking with Miss D, how you doing? Hope you're doing well. Facts Not Feeling says, imagine a Black woman like Felicia Rashad running for president and interview with Oprah and perform like Kamala. America would never let her get away with such poor performance. Nope. But everybody's kind of like just dragging her along, right? Gilbert, how you doing? Hope you're doing well. Phoenix 44, what's going on with you? Says they're mad at Janet Jackson, but look how Oprah did her brother MJ. Man, see, that's one thing about Janet. Janet is going to stand 10 toes down behind her brother. I think it was HBO that put out that hit piece about Michael, and as HBO Showtime, one of them, and they wanted to, I guess, they was doing some award show, and Janet was supposed to perform, and she says, not if HBO going to be doing it, not the way they did my brother, and she didn't do it. So yeah, one thing she does is love her family. Janet is about that life. Yes, indeed, dear self. How you doing? Hope you're doing well. Let's see here. Avenged Ancestor says, what brother? Donovan's channel. It's in the description box. I put it in there every time we're on here so that y'all can go and follow Donovan's channel, because he is indeed staying on top of Corey Jackson, who represents his district for the Black Assembly people there in California, as he decided not to take the reparations vote to Gavin Newsom. So Donovan's like, you're not going to get a moment's rest. Every time I see you out, I'm going to be right there reminding you of how you did Black Americans in California. So big ups to Donovan. You guys, please do follow him. Red House Entertainment, how you doing? Says she can admit whatever. The street is Black too. I bet her driver license says otherwise. She needs that excuse. Excuse my laughter. I have a condition card like the Joker movie. You crazy. Yeah, that'd be interesting as to what her driver's license says, huh? Does it say she's Black? What does it say? That, interesting. Okay.
Oh, that's HIPAA. That's HIPAA. You can't see it because that's HIPAA.
Somebody gonna see it one day. Sabrina says that phrase, not specifically for Black people, no, shows that she did not consider herself Black. Come on now. But I'm gonna leave it at that. Tell the truth to Shane the Devil. How you doing? Say he cooning and buffooning. Okay. Jay Lee says, are they running for office trying to get our votes? They're supposed to be, right? Judge says I wouldn't call any of Janet's pro-black at all, of the Jackson pro-black at all. Then you ain't been paying attention, because Michael Jackson most definitely is pro-black. Jermaine Jackson has been. I don't know if he still is, but I know he was in the Nation of Islam. Very into Michael, Jermaine, a few other ones are very involved with the Nation of Islam. And we know that they have given back to a bunch of black everything. So what we're not going to ever do is say that the Jacksons are not pro-black. It's a lie.
Yeah, I don't know if you remember this in the 80s or maybe the early 90s. Janet was on some show and they were interviewing her, and I think it was during the Rhythm Nation thing. And the interviewer had kind of mentioned that, hey, Janet, you got this real, really nice rear, whatever. And Janet made the statement, look, I'm a sister, that just comes with the territory. So she doesn't shy away from the fact of being a black woman. She has assets that are God-given.
Yes, indeed. Rod, how you doing? It says, I don't see how black folks can't see that their lives can literally change overnight by voting for this woman. We could, I think, be homeless with a financial crisis just waiting to happen. Yeah, which is also why we need to do for self. We need to be doing that anyway so that we can minimize the impact of her presidency. I mean, we've seen what Biden presidency has done to America in general, but, as they say, America catches cold, black people in America catch the flu, and we are definitely with the flu, right? But regardless of what happens, we need to, make sure we get our stuff together and quickly.
Right, and you guys better look at, like I keep telling you guys on this show and on my show as well, you want to see what Democratic policy does to a nation? Look at California. We just had a reparations bill by our own people that did not be brought to the floor. There are more homeless black mothers and children in California that could have benefited from that reparation money. We need help now. There are more black people homeless across the nation than any other group. And you mean to tell me we got to continue to vote for a party that refuses? They have shown you in California what the Democratic policy is. Nothing for black people. We are no better off in wealth than when the Civil War ended. That's a scary situation to be in.
Absolutely. All right, let me go all the way to the bottom. Oh wow, it's over 700 of y'all in here. Thank you. Let's see here. Cooking with Miss D says the download can go to hell. Nubian King says Gandhi was a devout racist. Yes, he was. He was very disparaging about black people. And when we went to South Africa, they have like a whole square, like a town square dedicated to Gandhi. And I'm like, why? It was so. I think they got a statue.
I mentioned that in the chat. Yeah, I mentioned that he was not very well liked by Africans there, but he did practice law during that time, representing black, defendants, whatever. But he is not liked at all.
Yeah, it was weird.
Yeah, we were on the bus when we passed that, right? When we saw it.
It was like Gandhi Square or something like that. Alex said DL trying to take the implication heat off of him being at was DL at Diddy's parties? That boy, I tell you, Diddy. Maybe we can get at a conversation in the last couple of minutes, because my God, it's so much going on.
No, I don't. You know what? Everybody think about Diddy, but remember, Mary J. Blige was with Diddy in the early days. So notice she has gone completely silent. And Demetra, have you noticed all these executives resigning in the record business?
I have seen that. Yeah, y'all going in. I'm gonna have to go all the way to the bottom and trust me, GP, how you doing? I'm not trying to ignore you guys. I'm so sorry. Listen, Philly John, how you doing? Marie Stark, how you doing? Let me go all the way to the bottom. JW, what's going on? Terry Panther, Till G847, how are you doing? Ryami, hope I said that right. How you doing? TO, let's see here. MC Fact, what's going on with you? Fly C, how you doing? Shauna, what's going on with you? Y'all are really going in. Y'all know doggone well I can't read all these comments. I would try if I could. Yolanda Lee, how you doing? A lady, what's going on with you? God of the universe, how you doing? Lady Lemire, how you doing? Hope you're doing well. Dub Deuce, what's going on with you? Jay, how are you? Man, Mission Vision, how you doing? Malaskew, and I know I'll be jacking that up. 7, how you doing? Anthony Johnson, hope you're doing well. Tanya Petway, how are you? Kathy Robinson, Strondo. Okay, I'm gonna get to the bottom because y'all, man, I'll never ever. Okay, I'm at the bottom. More threads. Thank you so much for the donation. Love and appreciate you for that. And welcome. He says people are allowed to vote for or say what they want. Democrats shows really think they own us. It's time to start reminding them of their past and dragging them when they come for people. Yeah, DL should not be able to get away with that. I mean, it's just disrespectful, right? Yikobo, how you doing? He says, recovering Democrat, you ain't scratching the one-step program working really good. Talking about you being in recovery. Yeah, he said he's always going to be what he is, right? Let's see. How you doing? How are you? JW says, yes, need to question and dissect why Kamala's masquerade is going to be so detrimental to Black first folks. Absolutely. Miss S, how you doing? Says the whole Diddy mess is a distraction to keep us from talking politics. 2024 will end just like 2028. Only this time the economic implosion will be 10 times worse. Absolutely. Mark Long, how you doing? Say Trump 2024. James Fisher, what's going on with you? He says to what happened in California, these Democrats are so sure you're going to get our votes. As I said many times, these Democrat party shills, etc., are in for a rude awakening. Yeah. Oh, thank you, MC Fact. All right. So I don't even know where to begin with the whole Diddy thing. And I agree. I definitely think it's a distraction. It's distracting now. Y'all have been, if you lived under a rock. Hey, more Sam, how you doing? Unless you've been living under a rock, you know that Sean P. Diddy Combs was arrested on a whole host of things that was kind of impending. And what kicked it off was last year, almost a year ago, Cassie Ventura, his longtime girlfriend, sued him civilly for an undisclosed amount. He told her no, and she went public, and then he said yes, paid her whatever she asked. And then from that point, lawsuits just came rolling out. You know, they were civil lawsuits, nothing criminal until recently, with a whole lot of allegations of what he done. Of course, anybody who was know anything about hip hop knows that a lot of those allegations were not new about Diddy and the things that he's been accused of. He's been accused of, harming his artists, ripping them off financially, and just a whole host of other things. Of course, there's all of these stories coming out. And so the feds decided to make good on that, and they picked him up. I think it was last Tuesday while he was walking around New York. They picked him up at a nice fancy hotel that he was at. He went to court and he wanted to bail out. He said he would put up his $50 million mansion, all of his kids' passports. I think he said he would put up his mama's house and some other stuff. But they said no. When he appealed, and then he appealed, and they told him no again. They said, well, because for one, he's a danger to society, and that up until they arrested him, that he was still contacting witnesses to intimidate them and to bribe them to not testify and things like that. They said they have it all via text messages and things like that. So he's kind of caught doing it, right? But of course, there's a lot of opinions as to what's behind Diddy being arrested. Is it something he knew or didn't know? Something he said? Did he make somebody mad? Was it because he sued the liquor company? Because he had alcohol with a brand, I guess, and then he was suing them because originally he said that they gave George Clooney $1 billion. They bought him out of his Casamigos, but they didn't offer Diddy as much. So Diddy was suing him. He lost that lawsuit. Some people are saying because Diddy was woke and just a whole host of things. I don't know what it was. But for me, I think it's sad on so many levels because, for one, Diddy is part of Black American culture. He is part of the hip hop culture. You cannot mention hip hop without saying Diddy, right? Diddy has been around for a very long time. Also, with his platform, being a mogul, if you will, billionaire, he won't probably be that for long because in that affidavit or the lawsuit, or not the lawsuit, but the criminal indictment, rather, they said that they are going to go after his assets. They are going to seize anything that he has made during what they call a criminal enterprise because they hit him on RICO charges. Anything that he amassed during then, they are possibly going to seize it, whether it's real estate, securities, money, whatever it may be, right? They're going after that. So, of course, he won't be a billionaire for long. Some people are saying they're trying to destroy him financially or this, that, and the other. I just say, regardless of what the motive may be in them bringing Diddy down, he did it to himself because, as I said, he had the opportunity to do right. And these allegations about him being a horrible person have been going on for a very long time. But you know what? As I was thinking about this the other night, because y'all know I go to bed early, right? As I was thinking about this, I said, wow, Suge Knight is in prison for a very long time due to him being a monster. Of course, y'all know all the things that he has done to people, including a lot of his artists on the West Coast, just probably running a criminal enterprise as well. Of course, now Puffy, it may be gone for the rest of his life. And what he's accused of course, we know that they were the figureheads. And I say that, and hopefully y'all pick it up what I'm saying. The figureheads of the West Coast, East Coast beef. Of course, Suge Knight has Tupac, and Tupac was murdered. And then they accused Puffy of doing it, and vice versa with Biggie, right? Who was Puffy's artist. And so within the time that they were up and running, when I say they, Suge Knight and P. Diddy, there's a lot of destruction that went forward rather within the last 30 years or so, I would imagine. That's when all that happened. And now both of these kingpins who were very instrumental in hip hop are, gone and are going. And it's sad. Of course, I said they are the figureheads. I don't think they're the ones that's ultimately wielding the puppet strings, but they are the ones that are going down for the count. Of course, a lot of people have said, oh, well, what about the people above them? The record executives, what about them?
Clive Davis has a hand in all of this.
That what's new, right? But as we often say, especially us as Black people, why do you think you could do what they can do when the system was never designed for you? It was designed for them. The system was designed for them to be protected under their laws. It was never designed for Black people to be protected under our laws, under their laws. Now, are some other people doing it, some record executives or whatever? Yeah. Where y'all think Diddy and them learned it from? You know what I mean? They talk about the casting couches, old Hollywood talk, right? Where the women, the starlets, and even the men, right? Even some of those men, they had to do something strange for the change with some of those executives to get a role. Dorothy Dandridge talked about it in her autobiography, Introducing Dorothy Dandridge, where she said it was a known fact that the Black Hollywood starlets were expected to drop their underwear at the request of these movie executives, because that was part of getting a role, right? She says even if it was for a mammy, a maid, or whatever it was, that was just kind of par for the course that you had to do it. Otherwise, you wouldn't have a chance of being, having a leading role and stuff like that. But again, because they could do it, and it's horrible that they did it. And of course, we know with the Me Too movement, Hollywood kind of burned, if you will, with the executives of Harvey Weinstein, who is still going to court. And one of the cases was overturned. So, he's going through another one. Will they overturn that? I don't know. Some tells me they will, because they don't really want Harvey Weinstein in jail, But he was, and I don't want to say casualty like it was a mistake, but he got hit with the Me Too movement along with a lot of other people. And of course, we know a lot of Black men got hit with it as well, So I say all that to say, as Farrakhan has said, don't laugh, learn. This is not a laughing matter. We see a lot of people on the internet laughing. Ha, ha, ha. Everybody's got these baby oil pictures and this, that, and the other, because that's another thing. They said they found over 1,000 bottles of baby oil. I think it was collectively through some of the mansions that he had.
Yeah, lubricant or baby oil lubricant. Right there.
All that other stuff. Was it meant to embarrass him? I think it was, because y'all know the accusations. I won't get into those, but don't laugh. Don't laugh, because there, but for the grace of God, there go I, which means thank God that's not me. Not that I think it would ever be any of us, because that's pretty heinous. A lot of the things that he's accused of doing, but you never know when your number is going to be called when it says, hey, remember that thing you did 30 years ago? Damn, I didn't know nobody knew about that. Well, we want you to answer for it now. You know what I mean? I think it's very tragic. I obviously something is wrong with Diddy. Now, I know a lot of people feel like he's being brought down by the man, but ultimately Diddy decided to do those things, and it's horrible, the things that he is accused of doing. And come on now, y'all saw the CNN tape. I guess it happened in 2016 at a hotel in Los Angeles. And somebody, I don't know who that somebody is, decided to release that tape that he, caught and killed, if you will, with money. He got them to keep it. We don't release it. I guess maybe he thought he had a copy, but they had a copy and it was recently released. Or we saw him, whooping on Cassie, something awful. That is undeniable. And he said it was him. He was sorry. He's a different person, blah, blah, blah. I just me personally, for those of y'all who have followed this channel for a long time, my personal motto in life is never harm anybody intentionally. If I ever harm anybody, it is not going to be intentional. I'm not going to wake up and say, I'm going to harm this person by any measures at all. So I say all that to say, what you do to people comes back, whether it's good or it's bad. I know some people don't believe in karma, but karma is real. Laws of the universe, whether you believe in the Bible, that what you put out there has to come back. So to think that I have billions of dollars and I could do whatever I want to people who are going to check me, boo. And you know what? I don't doubt there was some really higher ups in law enforcement that knew what Diddy was doing, and they were probably doing it too. For whatever reason, Diddy's number was called. He definitely has some things to answer to. Now I want to say this. It's very possible that Diddy could beat the case, and because he has to have a jury trial, right? The jury might say, we don't think he's guilty. There's not because they said that his attorneys is going to argue whether those people did anything against their will. Did they go on their own free will, right? They're going to try to argue that point. But ultimately, a jury is going to have to decide whether they believe P. Diddy did anything wrong. So as they say, innocent until proven guilty. I don't know. But it's just sad. You know, another thing is sad too, Donovan. He's got daughters who are young. They may, spend the rest of his life without him. He's got other, sons and things like that. It sounds like they were said to be involved in some of his misdeeds. They may or may not go down for that. But with that, he has daughters. He has, I think, 3, 4 daughters, right? A little baby daughter as well. You have daughters, and you're doing the things that you're accused of doing to other people's daughters. You know what I mean? So, I don't know. Like I said, it's sad.
Well, I would like to say this. The diddler, he's where he's at, and he's got to deal with it. He's got money, so this court cases can take years. But I will say this. R. Kelly is sitting in jail by himself and is watching this very, very closely because he was charged under trafficking. And I want to say this. If you guys have gone to my channel, I've said this on my channel, and it's nothing that's going to get a strike or anything like this. But a lot of these fellas, I'm just talking to the guys out there, even some of the ladies, if you're being flued out to some place to meet a dude or a woman, whatever it is, for sexual acts, that's a violation of the Mann Act. That is trafficking right there. So my point is this. R. Kelly got charged under a RICO statute, and he is sitting by himself. He is an illiterate man that cannot read, and he is sitting by himself, sitting there. So I think he's going to be looking at what's going to happen to the diddler very closely to do something to get himself out, because like everybody understands about RICO, it can't be one person. An illiterate man cannot book plane tickets. He can't do the things without help. I'm not saying he wasn't involved. He can't do this stuff without help. So they're going to charge diddler, and the prosecuting attorney has already said it's a RICO statute, and this man had help, and that's what they're going to charge him under. So we got to really look at what is going on, and you have to be free across the board. If you believe R. Kelly's innocent or guilty, that's irrelevant. The law has to be applied evenly across the board. And if we look at when it comes to Black justice, they pick and choose how they want to do these cases. It's amazing.
Yeah. It is amazing, but come on now, let's keep it a buck. And I'm seeing y'all comments out the side of my eye. I wish I could read them all. They don't ever want to see no brother holding that kind of power and money. You know what I mean? Whatever happened to moving in silence? Diddy, if you know anything about Diddy, of course we all do. He's a very flashy guy. You know, I remember it was like a year or two ago during Halloween. He did the Joker, right? I think Warner Brothers told him to stop because he did this big old production about the Joker. He's doing it big. He's got the car and everything, right? And I guess they sent him a cease and desist, like, stop. Well, next year, I think it was, he did it again. He did it again, like, man, F you, I'm going to do the Joker again, you know? I guess maybe they didn't have an issue with it. I guess if you kind of like a costume, Halloween costume, but it was like this big production, you know, this video that he did. And I thought about that. I was like, well, you know, he probably got under the skin of the wrong people, you know, and then he was just like, I'm going to do me. I don't care. I'm going to do what I want to do. And that works up to a point. But when you messing with them folks and they say, we need you to stop, plus they don't really want you to have all that you have anyway. Yeah. You know, same thing with R. Kelly. R. Kelly had millions. I said it in slow motion so y'all can get the emphasis. Millions of dollars, and he ended up in prison with none of it. You know, and he said, I was illiterate. And I believe that, you know, but he had people who were supposed to have his best interest at heart, and they did not. So a lot of times, too, they surround themselves with people who don't care about them. And I always say this, I don't care how much money you have, whether you got $5 in the bank or 500 million in the bank, hire you or have some no people around you. What is a no person? You know how people have a yes person? Oh, yes, anything you want. Oh, yes, you want to fly people out and pay them to do that with baby oil? Oh, sure, yes, I'll do it. Have you some no people say hell to the no. No. Get your Kamala. No. Get you some no people. And say, no, I don't think you know, somebody who's not afraid to be cut off by you. Somebody that's a no person that has some sense to say, listen, I know you think you can do that and probably no one will ever find out, but you shouldn't do that because you're going to jeopardize potentially your brand, your freedom, somebody's life. So no. See, this is the other thing. Sometimes when people get so much money, it's like, well, I've done everything. You know, there's never enough of more. So I'm going to engage in some illegal activities. Ain't nobody going to know because I got all these people covering for me and doing this. Just have some no people around. That's all I'm telling you. No people could be very annoying. And in some circles, they're now known as the party pooper. You just don't want nobody to have no fun. And we don't need to have that kind of fun. Because that kind of fun, to your point, Donovan, yeah, Diddy went down for that right now. I don't know if he's ultimately going to go down. That's up to the jury. But how many other people around him that continue to tell him, yeah, sure, yeah, go ahead, man. Go do that. How many of those people are going to get we need to talk to you? Like you said, a lot of executives are resigning. And I'm sure a lot of people are biting their nails because they said in a lot of those tapes, he recorded people and they didn't know, which is a crime, I would imagine, right? He recorded those people. They did not know they was, had they behind in the air being recorded. So who's behind is on it. And I don't like to engage in rumors because I think it's silly, but this is not even rumor. TD Jakes was at some of those parties. Now, was he at the freak-offs? I hope not. But it wouldn't be unusual for a man of God, per se, to be at a freak-off. Oh, I was just blessing the atmosphere, laying down some holy water. I don't know what TD Jakes was doing there. But
doing some Bible study. Yeah.
He might have been. Hallelujah. Or maybe he was saying, oh God. Let me stop because I'm sorry. Listen. Years ago, my pastor, I don't go to church anymore, but I consider her still be my pastor. She gave this analogy and I never, ever forgot it. And she says, everybody around you knows that you're not a drinker, right? You go around saying, I don't drink alcohol. No, I don't drink alcohol. One day you get thirsty and you go into the bar, you sit at the bar and you say, hey, bartender, can you give me a glass of water? Water is clear, right? And alcohol can be clear as well. So those same people you were talking about, I don't drink. Oh, no, I don't drink alcohol. They walk in a bar because they do drink alcohol. And guess what? They see you sitting at that bar drinking what appears to be alcohol. They leave out of there and say, oh, I saw Demetria, she be lying. She says she don't drink alcohol, but I seen her at the bar. you know, and she wasn't even sipping the alcohol because, you know, you drink water, you turn the glass up, you thirsty, right? And so then you hear everybody like, no. Listen, I was thirsty. I went to the bar. I was drinking water. Yeah, right. Sure you were. So I tell that story because TD Jakes had no damn business being around Diddy in none of those parties. You the man of God. You the Potter's house all over the world. And now your reputation is in question because what were you doing at Diddy's parties? Because he was saying, oh, you know, I had some business to take care of. Y'all couldn't have did it at the Potter's house. You had to do it at Diddy's party, you know, and I won't get into what they're saying happened with him because I think that, you know, I don't know. I'm just not going to do it. But, right. So you have to protect your reputation at all costs. Now, I have a master's in public relations, and my thesis dissertation was on not only protecting the reputation and the brand and everything of your client, but you got to protect yours too. Because everybody does not deserve for you to work with them, right? Everybody doesn't deserve your time or your energy because you saying yes to everybody means that you leave your own reputation unprotected. Now, if I'm a reverend, I'm not hanging around Diddy. There's a lot of people who are in the entertainment industry that was like, nah, Cat Williams, what'd he say? You got to tell him no. No, you got to tell him no. He knew that Diddy, he ain't like to do a lot of things he ain't really for, you know? So sometimes you got to ask yourself, what is it going to cost me? Is it going to cost me my reputation? Is it going to cost me money? Is it going to cost me a relationship? Is it going to cost me my life? Is it going to cost me freedom? What is it going to cost me to say yes when I should be saying no? So the word of the day is get you some no people around you. That no person could be your mama. Now, my mama's gone on, but listen, one thing my mama did not do was bite her tongue when it came to giving us advice. And I'm one of those people, anybody that knows me, I hate criticism because I think I'm perfect. But you know what? I'll listen to it because if it's right, then I'm gonna take it for what it's worth. And whether I hate criticism or not, I'm gonna say, well, are they right? If they are right, then let me go with that information instead of dying on the hill of, you can't tell me what to do. You know who I am. You know who I am. I do what I want. Well, there's a lot of people in prison or in the graveyard that said, I do what I want. You don't tell me what to do. So with all the billions that Diddy has, I don't know how much new oodles and noodles he'll be able to get behind bars. Let me just paint this picture for you, Donovan, and then I'm going to give it to you, okay? And then we're going to get out of here. I'm going to paint this picture for y'all, okay? Diddy, who lives a life of opulence. His water probably is pumped in freshly from Fiji every day, okay? His toilet water is probably that of Evian with sparkling. You know what I'm saying? He has a life of opulence. His sheets, he probably never sleeps in them twice. You know what I mean? He is in what they call one of the most notoriously horrible jails in America, New York City, right? Whatever that is. It's the horrible. I'm sure it's cold. It's probably musty, dusty, funky.
Epstein was there.
Epstein was there. He ain't there no more for obvious reasons. Okay. He's probably getting that hard piece of bread with that slop that they put together. He don't get to say, you know what, have my butler bring me in the finest selection of steaks. He don't get to do that. He get to eat what they eat and what they eat. Now, with that picture being drawn of, you know, they kicked in the door of a very schmancy hotel where he was at, to where he's at now. You'd have thought he'd hired a no person to say, nah, don't do that. Now look what it cost him. He will never, that billions of dollars that he has, won't benefit him nothing.
Well, it's not even that. The lawyers are salivating because you've just set these lawyers up for life and their family for generational wealth. Yes, they're going to fight as hard as they can for him. But for a lawyer, it doesn't matter if they win or lose. You know, with a client like that, you're getting paid regardless. But the sad thing, you know, at the end of the day, I'm going to say this, and I know people are going to be very unpopular when I say it. In this country, you are supposed to be innocent until proven guilty. And we find time and time again, when it comes to Black people, that's the opposite. We are guilty until we can prove our innocence. And the truth is going to come out in some form or fashion, or at least part of the truth. People are resigning. People are shutting up. Again, you're talking about a span of what, 30 years of people in and out of this man's life. Shine. People got to remember this. J-Lo received a gun charge and a plea and probation for hiding a gun for Diddy. Shine went to jail. So, a lot of people are connected to this thing, and it's going to be surprising. So, hold my beer, buckle up, and brace for impact.
I agree with you, Donovan. I agree with you. And Gary, you made a good point. And he's going through withdrawals because they found him with drugs on his person. So it seems apparently that Diddy has a substance abuse problem. So he's got a lot going on. But imagine him, he can't get his way now. He's used to calling the shots. He's used to doing and saying whatever he wants. And now he's being told what to do. And, they said Diddy could get anywhere from 15 to life. 15 to life, and who's to say they'll offer him a plea deal? They may not. Maybe they'll say, well, we take it to trial, and whatever he's found guilty on, he could be doing life. He's 54, he's young, but he could be doing the rest of his life when he had his whole life ahead of him, and all he had to do was just do the right thing, do right by people. And
or just walk away from the industry completely. Yeah. Just say, you know what, I'm done. I'm walking away.
Mike Nicely said, where's Clive? Clive, that those laws were written for him. He benefits the most from those laws, not no Black man in America, And
remember, Clive and Jimmy Irvine and a lot of these music executives were at these parties.
So they say. I don't know. That's what the word on the street is, But y'all, we also got to think about it too. Puffy, while he talked about Black excellence, most of the things he did to people, they were Black. Shine, he is Belize. I believe he's from Belize. He's like a prime minister or something over there now. He's got a good position, but he recently came out and said he ruined my life because they asked him, well, because you said you forgiven him. He said, I did. I had to move on from it because, Shine took a bid that he didn't deserve. He didn't do it, but Diddy blamed him. He said, Diddy ruined my life. I just want to move on from it. He, is basically where he deserves to be if indeed he did those things. But he said he did ruin my life. So Diddy did those things allegedly to Black people. So he has to answer for that. I know we, have loved Diddy, love his music. But like we did with R. Kelly, what can you do? You can't save people from themselves. So anyway, I love and appreciate every last one of y'all. Charles says, Kamala don't know what race, culture, or heritage she is. Oh, Lord. Black Snowflake says, Jackson can't be boycotted. Atheists, communists engage in jihad. What? JW says, Diddy was Black capitalist on steroids. In my opinion, he just sold Black folks poison. Yeah, that's a great argument as well. So Robert said, no, he don't. If he's innocent, that's up to a jury to decide. But at the very least, we did see him whooping Cassie's butt, at that hotel. And he wasn't just, pushing her. He was kicking her, stomping her, dragged her by her hair. It's like, come on. Throwing stuff at her. Come on, man.
Yeah. And I believe in a criminal trials and a lot of trials, you take a jury trial or a bench trial. And the bench trial is where the judge is going to decide. So he can get a judge in his back pocket.
Yeah, and the judges don't seem like they like him much. And Damon, I think this is a good comment. It says Hugh Hefner was worse. Yeah, he was worse. But see, you know what? Hugh Hefner was smart. He had a sex club. Whether they was exchanging money, I don't know. I don't know how illegal a sex club is if you're not getting money for it. But I'm sure there were some strange things that went on at the Playboy Mansion. But he structured it differently. Put it that way. And I think that's kind of how it differs from what Diddy is accused of.
Right. And then, I mean, let's not be prudes here, you guys. Houston, Atlanta, San Diego, Los Angeles, there are sex clubs that exist where swingers go there and do their thing, which is not too far different than what the diddler is kind of doing, but I guess it's just more on steroids. So, let's not be acting like, we don't know that these clubs don't exist. They exist. And sometimes some of them, you remember you got to pay money. Some of them you're just swinging or whatever you're doing. So.
Yep, facts not feelings. He probably did do that. I don't think Diddy's stupid. Well, in some regards, but yeah, I would imagine he probably did do that. Send those tapes to, was it Superfly? He said something happened to me. Got a contract out on you. So maybe he did. But anyway, James, you said nasty, disgusting clubs. Yeah, they ain't for everybody. But anyway, I love and appreciate every last one of y'all. I'll see y'all on Tuesday. Where we'll have a podcast, I believe, and then we'll have our live show. So in the meantime, you guys have a great day. A lady said Diddy got off forcing people against their will. Yeah, and that's kind of part of that lifestyle. Anyway, we'll be back here and we'll see y'all later. Y'all have a great rest of your evening. Peace.